Okay, so it's May 25. It will be the weekly close now and the daily close in half an hour. So basically I'm just doing this video half an hour prior to the weekly close and the daily close because the action is happening now. So as we see, we rejected on the daily the 20, the 12. We need to close in half an hour above this area at least, or at least here on these two candles close, but especially above 9.3 to try to push higher. In the moment, it seems like we are losing the 21, all these areas, and the price is not holding. Basically, with the moving average, with the trend lines, we are in this trend line that comes from here. So basically just bounced, but it's maybe not enough. This trend line, it's not strong enough to hold, but let's see. Still half an hour to go. This is the daily chart. So we got this trend line here. We got the two rejections, and then we created this one. After we close, maybe we can try one more time to come up, and then this will be big resistance. This horizontal line on the 9.3, and all these trend lines and the horizontal lines support resistance, like this area here, these candles here. So this is all no resistance. The 9.5, 9.4, like this candle here, this is all resistance. We never reached there, so we lost the energy. And now we are trying to go down. Let's see what happens. We still have the week as support and half an hour to go. So basically, if we keep on coming down, we have these supports on all these moving averages, which are aligned with this cluster here on the 7.9 until 7.6 and 7.8. So this is the first major support, basically on top of this candle here on the 7.8. So this is the first one. Second one is here, 7.4, more or less. Then we have the other support on the 6.9 and 7.21. So all this area here, it's a strong support, and we need to keep the higher lows from all this area here. From here we went up very fast. We need to come down to test this area around here to try to push higher. But then let's see, because if we come down here, all the top area will from here from 8.5 will act as resistance, all these moving averages, and can be the start. This can be the start of the trend line down, of the downtrend coming down to the lower levels, and might be the top of the next 6 months or the year, who knows. Let's see, we're still above all these moving average, so this is a huge support. We can forget that Bitcoin is still bullish. So we are here. On the weekly, we need to close above this candle at least to try to push higher. But we should have closed above the previous one, and we didn't, so doesn't look so good. We are still above this candle here and these two candles, which is the big weekly support. We have 29 minutes to go. If we close below these two candles, we'll come down. And then we have support on the 8.2, 8.1 again, on the 21 and the 20 moving average. 89 is here. but the best support of course it's on this candle close here on this area, which is aligned with these wicks. So on this 7.1 more or less until here on the 6.9. So here the support is stronger than this one, but might be the start of a downtrend, who knows. Indicators are starting to point down on the weekly, although they can come for support and try to push at least to the dots still one more time. So remember, we are still in a bullish area because we are above all the moving averages for now. If this one closes below here, we will do a bearish engulfing, and that will be a bad sign, of course, and we are coming down. So we have the 200s here, which we never tested more or less. So all this area here is support until here, this 5.4 more or less. This is the huge support for Bitcoin. We might range here, who knows. From the tops of the 14K we keep doing lower highs. We never managed to close above. We just rejected, and now we are keeping the rejection. Oh, it's coming down now, as we can see. So we will close for sure below here. We might come very fast now. The volatility is starting, and we are coming down at minimum here. Let's see where it holds. So we will do a bearish engulfing candle, or we go up from here. This is the test now on the weekly, but we are coming down, of course. So let's see. Okay, so on the monthly we have, it's May 25. It's one more week, 5 days, 6 days for the monthly close. So we are getting this big rejection, but still holding a little bit. But we are coming down. We need to close above these two candles. Otherwise, we have the 21 here on the 7.5, 7.6. The support is this big candle here on the 7.5, more or less, plus the support below on the 20, on the same candle, which is the 7.1, until the week down. So all this area, this is the most important candle here to act as support from the wick up and down, and the body up or down, which is aligned with these moving averages on the monthly. If we come below, and if we close below 6.4, forget it. We will come to the lower average, at least 5.4, which is the 50 here, and then we might have a bounce back at least to the resistance, and then reassess to see if we manage to push higher or if we got resistance, and then we come to the 89 here on the 3.6. This is the 89, which is aligned with this base on the monthly. And then we have the 100 here on the 2.8. We never tested it. And then of course we have this big support resistance that we just went up without testing it. And it's on the 1.3, 1.4, also on the 1.2. And of course we still didn't test a few more below, but this is just, I don't think we will get there. So this is the minimum I'm seeing, but still we have all these areas for big bounces. And let's see what's happening. For now we are coming down, as we can see, 8.7 rejection from this top. We might even close today below these candles. Let's see. But this is the monthly. Now it's more important the weekly. So we are ready here, and we will do a, let's see if it holds. It's still 20 minutes to go, so let's see if we do a bearish engulfing. It's trying to hold on the support here, but I don't know if it will have strength. Indicators are starting to point down, of course, on the weekly. Daily. Okay, we are coming down. We are still above this support here. But as we see with this candle like this, or we have a big wick up in a few minutes, or forget it and we come to the obvious support, which is here, or last case here, all this area. We also have this trend line here, which is aligned with another trend line that it comes from the past, which is around this area. But now we are here. So let's see where we go. Half an hour to go. Basically, to be bullish, we need to close above 9.3, 9.2, 9.3 to try to push higher. We are here now. All these will be resistance. Resistance is here on the 9.6, 9.7, and all this area here. To say that when everyone gets bullish and all the market is kind of bullish, the price comes lower. And because, as I say, all supports needs, all, not all, but the majority of the supports need to be tested on the way up. From time to time they come down to test them and then reassess to see if we push higher. So this one, this one, this one. Here also we didn't test on the 5.4. So there's many areas. It's about seeing where the price, all the indicators are pushing down. On the daily, they are quite obvious that we need to come down. So let's see. Personally, as I say, this is the start of a downtrend for me, but we need to close below all these moving averages and this area. So until now, if we hold this week, the week here on the 8.1, 9.2 and bounce up, it still can be bullish. So who knows? For now, indicators are pointing down, so this area was to take profits or sell, and now rebuy where we stop. As I said, this week here was never tested, this area here, and I'm seeing a bounce from here, but who knows, it will be more bearish. But let's see. Indicators down. Still 20 minutes to go. Still trying to hold this area. If everyone starts to short here from this week and putting the stop losses, especially people on high leverage, starting to put stop losses on these candles above them a little bit, the price still can come up to liquidate them, maybe until this week or even higher, and then back down, who knows. So sometimes the price holds for a while in a area because it can liquidate in both ways. if people think this is the bottom and they are buying this support here, and they put a stop loss just a little bit below to try to see if the price push higher, the price can come down and then back up. And it's the opposite for high leverage. So that's why now the price stops in key areas and moves up and down to liquidate people. That especially now many people are shorting. So the price can still go a little bit up. When everyone gets liquidated, then it comes down. It's how it works, the markets, how the markets work. But looking at this chart, it seems quite obvious that we need to test all these moving averages as support. But then we need to close above 9.8 or 9 or 10 to be more bullish and make a higher high, a higher low, sorry. For now, it's just lower highs from the last stops, and we are coming down. So basically, as I've been saying, we are doing some kind of this, and we can do this and start to come down. Let's see if we had a big bounce from these areas up, big wicks up, something like this. Otherwise, doesn't look so good. And we are doing kind of this and back down. Up, down, one time, trying to push higher a little bit. Can be like this, try to go higher, not losing the strength, and back down. But before this was resistance, all the moving averages here, so that's why you got a big push down. This is support now, so we can come here and back up. Never forget. Remember, when we come down, we can be doing this or this and then back up. We are still above the 21. The 21 is here on the 879. Remember, when we are above the 21, we can go big time high on the weekly. But we already had one test, so I don't know if with two tests, if it holds. We need to hold like basically where we are now. It's in a big fight here, basically, on the support of this candle. But seems quite obvious. I don't know if we will come at least minimum here to these areas. I'm looking at this area here as support. Let's see. If we manage to touch the 21 and back higher, or even from here we hold and go higher. Remember, this is one of the targets here, and then this area here, of course, then the 16, 14 areas, but this is the first target. This target was reached, and then we closed below. We didn't manage to pass. This is the other target up, and all the targets down. I already pointed out. It's all these moving averages as support that can work as support. And the candles, of course, the support resistance on the candles, like here, the tops, this closes here. It's about seeing where we react when the candle closes. It's 14 minutes to go. Let's see what I can say more. So, okay, so I'll do time. Speed stamp. So basically we got the bounce from this area. Here we closed above, but the second candle on the weekly we didn't manage to close open above. So basically so this is just a rejection from this trend line that comes from the 14. Okay. So we try to go up, but next week we are coming down, so we are rejecting. If we manage to close above this trend line, we could come to this from this top to the 11.2 or 11.3, and if we manage to close one or two candles daily or 4 hours above, then we had or a week, another week above, we could come to the higher levels here on the 15, 11 or higher on this trend line, the brown one. We have also this trend line that we got the support here, went up, and we got test here to go up, as we can see here, and now we are facing resistance, and now we need to find support maybe on this trend line, the brown one. If we come down from here, it will be aligned with the 7.1 exactly, so if we can have a very big bounce from here. And this is the most obvious what we are doing now. We are in this range inside this triangle, but we can bounce from this brown one, this trend line. If we start closing below this trend line, it's obvious we will come to test the support here on the 377. This big wick here from from 1 of March, and what this big move up was from this trend line that comes from here with this wick. We bounce from there. If we are testing this resistance, and now we come back down. We have this trend line here that is coming down. We never tested it. And we have this trend line and this trend line that comes from 2015, from the top of the wick and the bottom of the wick, from the candles close and the top of bottom of the wick. We create two trend lines here that of course are going up all these years. So one is aligned with this trend line, with this big resistance that was never touched as support on this trend line. And we've got the 2.9, 2.8 in July of this year. So who knows if we can here for another punctual bottom and a big bounce up for the same areas. And then we have this trend line, the old one that is coming up, and who knows if we come down to the 8.3, it should be somewhere around here. I don't know. So what happens if we come down to the 1.3? We need to have a huge bounce and close above this trend line, hold, back up, hold above this trend line, and above this bottom, of course. And then above this trend line, we keep on pushing higher, and then that can be the big bull run of Bitcoin. It might happen, who knows? For now, it's area by area. We cannot we can speculate, but we need to read what the price and the market is telling us. And basically, we are just finding resistance here. So we have 9 minutes to go. The price is still holding here. So that's why many people are shorting and the price is not coming down. So maybe the price is liquidating a few people. We are still above support of the 50 and these two candles here. So we are still above support on the weekly. But in these 8 minutes, many things can happen. So, but although we are on top of a support, 8.930, these two candles now will be resistance. These candles will be resistance. This candle close will be resistance. 9.4, 9.3. This week will be resistance. So everything will be resistance on the way up. We already came below this week, so we came already to the 8.6. The support now it's on the 8.6 on these two candles close, and of course this area 8.5 and a half. So this is the big support of it, this area here, and we are above, still above this candle, trying to hold. And we need a big push up now in these 7 minutes, but I don't know if we will manage. So on the daily, this will be, the 21 will be resistance, and these two candles close. This is the strong resistance now, and the second one is the 9.2. From this top, this candle here, the bodies, and this candle close to, so big resistance here. See, the price is still holding above this support. 4 hours. We are below the 200s, so basically we need to close above these 200s. Next support is here on the 8.4, more or less. The 377 moving average. It's aligned with this week basically. So this is what I'm seeing as a support on the 4 hours. And of course the big area here, 8.5 from this candle's close. And then here, this is where we are bouncing now. So here, all these candles close, this cluster here. And we came here to test this support, and we are trying to go up from here, but we need to close in 5 minutes above these 200. Otherwise we will come down. All this is resistance. We never managed to touch the 50 here. We just rejected the 21, and we never managed to reach the 100 plus the 50, but the 50 basically was rejected here. But we never rejected the 100 here, the blue one, on the 9.3. So let's see what we do in these 5 minutes. Indicators are still pointing down, stochastic is still pointing down. We can do this, come down. We are already on the buy area on the 4 hours, but we can still go a bit up and then back down. Look, these things here. You go up, suddenly we come down again. It happens many times. So on the 4 hours. So let's see if we hold this support here. Hold this support. 3 minutes to go. 5 minutes. We got these big wicks, buying wicks. As we see, we are holding support. This is a buy week. We created this support here. So this, some people who wants to buy, this is the buy area now. And now we can come up. So, and the stop loss can be here, or one buy here on these candles. You can buy here, you can buy here, you can buy here, and the stop loss here. Here we are already on buy areas, as we see below, but this is just a 5 minutes, so it's about checking where we create support. So it's here, basically. Eight point seven point. So let's see what it does. So we have 3 minutes for the price to come down, but then suddenly up and close above where we are now. 8.748 or 8.750. This is the support, so it's coming down. And this needs to hold in 2 minutes. If we don't close above here, it's very tricky and we come down. So, but these weeks are buying weeks, but can be fakes and just bots buying and then they are selling here. So who knows? So we need to close above this support here. 8.70, 750 in 2 minutes from now. But this is just a 5 minutes. So 15 minutes, not looking so good. But we need to go, as I said, to the 5 minutes to see, to manage the risk and put the stop loss below this week. Make the entries here, especially the bigger one below, and then the stop loss here, so the risk is minimum. So, and we need to hold 8.750 minimum, but all the big resistance is now here on the 21. 1 minute to go, and we are below this week, this, and we basically we need to close above the 9.3. This is more bullish. All this is resistance now. So it doesn't look good. Rejection of the 21, as always. We got the rejection, many rejections here of the 100. So we close in a bad spot. So weekly, this is where we closed. We closed, didn't make a bearish. Yeah, I did a little bit. So this is a bearish, and we closed below the 50. So this is resistance now, the weekly, the 50 moving average. This, I can consider this a bearish engulfing candle, but let's see. We closed below that one, and now let's see where we close with this one. Seems like we closed below this one too, so this is quite bearish to come to test support, so I think we will come down now. So as we see resistance on the 8768, 8750, and we are coming down. So here we are starting to come down. Rejection from the moving averages, so everyone who wants to buy or take profits or short, this is where you have to sell and then buy above, and now buying here. Trading is all about this, taking profits on resistance or selling and buying on support. So you need to know in all the time frames where you are on the chart, on the monthly, weekly, daily, until the minutes, and do your trades. You can do daily trades, swing trades, and investments, long-term investments. And for long-term investments, you need to go for the daily and weekly below these dots here. This is where you invest. always below the dots, and we were above. As we see, we were here. We need to come down to the dots or below for the investors to invest and the swing traders to make the trades. So, so now we are trying to hold, yet liquidate people that are shorting. So people were shorting from below, so we are now testing resistance. We can even come here to touch it one more time, or to this week, or to here. Liquidate many people that were shorting from here to here, and then back down. So this is why you need to short from here and not from here. You can do it, but you need to put the stop loss very tight and then do another short and keep on trying until you reach the area. So this is where we are. Okay, so I will close the video now. So back again. We are monthly. We have 5 days for the monthly to close, and we are getting this big rejection. We need to hold this support on the monthly here, on this area or this area. But then the obvious, it's this, as I said, is this candle as support on the 7.6, which is aligned with the 21, and the bottom of the candle, the bottom of the body, which is on the 7.7K, 7.2, 6.9. It's aligned also with this top here, with this area here. So all this area, it's support for a big bounce up, and we keep on being bullish on the monthly, because the monthly is quite bullish. Every time we go above the 21, we are big way down, so we might be just coming down to test it, or the 20 down, then a bit up, and then back up, and be more bullish to try at least to come to the 11K or even higher. And if we close the month below all these areas, and that especially this candle or these two candles here, then it's more bearish, and support will be here on the 89, or here on the 100, and of course then here. This is what I'm seeing now. Price is still trying to hold, liquidating people, of course. So we need to, for long-term investments, it's the monthly and the weekly. And here we are testing resistance on the 50, the green one, 50 moving average here. So all these now are shorting opportunities from these two candle closes this week here and this week. All these are shorting. You can make various entries on shorting until here, stop loss here or stop loss there, and keep shorting, trying to short, especially from this area. Here is a bit tricky. You need to